Women with low self-esteem become target practice for men with predatory behavior. And I'm just going to say it. A lot of men are inherently predatory, meaning you are the prey.
Men are always testing women, and men are going to test you in the beginning of every relationship to know the type of woman you are. They are testing you to see the type of things you can tolerate in order to know the type of treatment to give you, to know the degree of self-esteem you have as a woman, so that they can know the type of treatment to give you. They know the kind of women they can play, they can use, they can manipulate. They know the type of women who are desperate, who are insecure, who are vulnerable and naive. And they prey on this type of women because they see these women as easy targets. So every woman watching this video, make sure you know your worth, make sure you're self-confident, and make sure you're not desperate, because a lot of men are going to prey on these things. Men have a special talent for detecting when a woman is desperate, insecure, naive, and vulnerable, and they are going to use it to their advantage to play you. A lot of people had so much to say concerning this topic. I'm going to roll the clip. Let us hear what they have to say, then I'll be sharing my thoughts at the end of the video.
Women with low self-esteem become target practice for men with predatory behavior. And I'm just going to say it. A lot of men are inherently predatory, meaning you are the prey. And what happens when you have low self-esteem or low self-value, you start to seek out the predator. And what you're not understanding is men will use you for target practice, just for fun. Especially if you're the type of woman that's typically out of their reach, they will initially approach you with predatory tactics to see what itches your brain just right. Because the longer you stay in a place where your self-esteem is low and you're dating, you're going to attract the same type of person who itches your brain just right. And once they find that spot, they are going to continue to reinforce that until they get what they need from you. So if you have low self-esteem and you can't understand why, figure that out. Get out of dating, take a break, whether that be 3 months, whether that be 6 months, a year, 2 years. You need to get to the bottom of that reason. You absolutely do not want to get comfortable in that space. Trust me.
Ladies, y'all might want to get in here and listen to this. I used to have a male friend who used to dog women out so bad. Like, I mean, one female leave, another one is on the way. Mind you, he wasn't the most attractive guy at all, but he did keep his appearance up. One day I asked him, how are you able to pull all these women and keep them in rotation? And he said to me, I go for weak women. I said, but how can you tell when a woman is weak? He said, you could tell a woman is weak from one conversation. They're never confident. They never keep eye contact. And also, their appearance is always usually something casual. They never dress feminine. They may wear makeup and get their hair done, but they're never confident enough to dress feminine. When you offer to take them out to a nice restaurant, they'll usually say something along the line of, I don't have anything to wear, or is there a certain dress code? Weak women are the easiest to target. And while I may not be the most confident myself, a weak woman will never recognize that because they lack self-respect and self-awareness themselves. He said, one thing I've learned is some of the most beautiful women actually hate themselves and see themselves as objects.
If you're a woman with low self-esteem, my big brother advice, my friend advice to you right now is take a break from dating. I repeat, if you're a woman who knows that she struggles with low self-esteem, my big brother advice to you, my brother advice to you in general, as my friendly advice to you, is that you take a break from dating. Why? You see, men with nefarious intents can smell a woman with low self-esteem. Users, abusers, manipulators, men with low vibration, they can sniff out a woman with low self-esteem. Doesn't matter her age. Oh, if she has money, if she has access to resources, and she has low self-esteem, oh man, you're a perfect target. If you're not strong mentally, if you're not strong here in your heart and in your mind, men with bad intentions will sniff you out and will latch onto you to use your energy, use your mindset, use your vibrations, use everything use your money too. That's why you see some women, they fall for they fall for some terrible situations. You know, I know a woman, she met this guy on a dating app, 4 months, moved in with him, giving him all the benefits of a wife, of a girlfriend. You know, he used her. Ask her, why did you do this? Like, I want to be loved. No. How can you expect somebody to love you if you don't love yourself? I'm talking to you as a brother. I'm talking to you as a friend, man. If you're a woman, a girl, a teenager, whatever, and you know you have low self-esteem, take a break from dating. Take 3 months, take 6 months, take as much time as you need. Dating is still going to be there. Fix your mind first. Feel good about yourself. Have some self-respect. Because the more self-respect you have, the more high self-esteem you have, the less tolerance you have for bullshit, the less tolerance you have for bad behavior. That's very important. If there's one thing you're going to take from this channel, work on your self-esteem as a woman, please. Because when you have a high sense of self as a woman, you don't mind walking away. A man does something, a man disrespects you, a man says something you don't like, you have low tolerance. You're not trying to see the good in him. When you have a high sense of self as a woman, any bullshit, any BS a man throws your way, you are. And that's what I want you guys to have. I want you to have high sense of self, okay? It's very possible. But to achieve high sense of self, you need to take a break from dating, okay? Good luck.
I talked to a man, and he's a very respectable man, a very man that's reputable in the city. I mean, got a lot of experience and wisdom. And he began to tell me, he said, let me tell you something about a woman. We as men, when we meet you, we can smell low self-esteem.
Woo! Smell it.
He said low self-esteem has a smell to it. I said, I've never heard that. He said it has a smell, it has a look. I don't care how prerogative you're dressed. I don't care how sophisticated you think you're looking. Low self-esteem has a smell, and let me tell you why. Because it's not the outer, it's the inner. So if the inner don't get healed, I don't care how you dress, I don't care how many BBLs you get, I don't care how many times you lay on the table and get the waist snatched and all that. If low self-esteem is there and you're not dealing with the reality of really who you are and allowing God to heal you so that you can walk in self-love, you're still going to keep projecting the same type of men.
Stop accepting bottom barrel treatment from men because you feel ugly. I have noticed a trend of women who are putting up with men treating them badly because they feel like they can't get anything better, or if they split up with that man, they can't find another man. And I want to be clear that the solution of that problem is not to hold on to a man who's not treating you as you should be treated. The solution is to introvert and figure out what you don't like about yourself. Because there is nothing as valuable to you in dating as your self-worth. And the thing about self-worth, unfortunately, is it doesn't just come. There are a lot of women who appear to have self-worth because they're attractive. That is not the case. Confidence, self-love, and self-respect is something that is built and worked on daily. Even the most attractive women who date often have come across men who plan and who plot to humble them. Life will try to humble you. We have all had jobs, we have all had friends who take a bite out of our self-confidence. So the solution to all of this is always internal. And the reality is you're going to have to ask yourself some tough questions and make some tough decisions. The first thing I would suggest that you do is work on your physicality. Nobody wants to talk about it because it's an uncomfortable and sensitive subject, but it's something that's very important in this dating game. The reality is looks are very important for men. But the bonus of that is that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So every different beholder has a different thought about what beauty is. So you don't have to be the most classically or societally beautiful woman. You just have to be the best version of you to you. So if you are overweight, move, exercise, eat well. I have had to do it. It is hard. It is tough. Irrelevant. Do it anyway. If you don't like the way your hair is, change it. If you don't like the way your skin is, change it. And, we can say that, beauty is deeper than what's outside. Absolutely it is. But working on your physicality will improve your confidence. That's the truth. Heal your traumas. Go to therapy. A lot of us have been through stuff that makes us accept things, deal with people who treat us less than, and we do it because we have a mindset that has come from trauma. Heal. Have a plan for your life. A lot of us, in terms of dating and just life in general, we're just coasting. We're just going through it. We don't have any set plans. And if you don't have any set plans, you don't have any set rules. And if you don't have any set rules, you can get to a point where you're just accepting things and not understanding why you're accepting them. There's a bunch of things that you can do, but the reality is it starts with you. So that is why I say, work on you so that you don't have anyone's dusty, crusty son treating you like less than, and you sit there and accept it because you think that's all you can get or that's what you deserve. Now, like I always say, there's always an exception to the rule. For best results, assume it's not you. Mwah.
That man is playing with your emotions and playing with your time, and he knows you are available. He knows that you are ready and willing at a drop of a dime, and he's already figured out who you are. It's almost like some men, if not most, will put you to the test. They want to see how far they can go with you. So they're going to call you every day, then they're going to miss a couple of calls. And they want to see if you're going to react to it, or if you're going to call back, or if you're going to be holding your breath by the phone. It's all a game. They want to see how far they can go with you. Oh, when I met her, she was that girl. She was fly. Oh my gosh. Her self-esteem was through the roof. Now she's by the phone call. I could just cancel plans and she'll be available tomorrow. As a matter of fact, she'll be available tonight. Who I'm talking to. This is how men are thinking. They are testing you, your self-worth. They're trying to see if you really are that girl. Because on these apps, you're saying you live a soft life. He better make this. He better have that. He adore me, Dior me. He better make $150K per year. Now they sitting across the table with you, and all it takes is chicken and rice, ambiance, and a candle in the center of the table. That's all it takes. Chicken and rice. With dim lighting, and now you're buckling under pressure. He said this was an easy one. Now I know if she made it easy and she has a great body, or she's young and she's beautiful, she looks like that one. That one may just be a little lighter, a little darker, a little thinner, a little bit heavier, may have a different job, but they all kind of in the same group. So now I could get away with it with her too. You see why it starts with us, ladies? It starts with us. I'm just saying.
A woman with low self-esteem is a sucker's dream because he knows that they're both on the same level, basically. They both don't love themselves. They both have excuses. They both know what has to be done but don't do it, and have very legit excuses in their heads on why they don't do things. But it's always about something else. It's always about blaming what they don't have at the time, or even going back to blaming their parents about why their situation is the way it is, even though they're grown. They both love to be pacified with sex, drugs, whatever that makes them feel good at the current time. So instead of handling situations, they resort to sex, drugs, and alcohol. You know what I mean? They abuse those things instead of correcting the problem. But it's a self-hate thing that turns them into this. They have low self-esteem, and the sucker has low self-esteem. He rolls with this type of fear.
Ladies, men can smell desperation and low self-worth, and they know the type of women that they can treat bad. Here's why. And if you don't voice your concerns, and you don't voice when he's inconsistent, what that tells him is that you don't have the confidence to walk away from the situation, i.e. you deserve less. And sis, you know you deserve way more. If you ignore the red flags, you know he's a red flag, and you're still there, and you know that he shouldn't be in your life, and you still allow it. And that means that he feels that he can do anything he wants in a relationship and continue as is. If you don't know your standards, be a strict babe and stick to them, they're going to walk all over you, and they can always smell when you're ready to lower their standards for them. If you have poor boundaries or allow men to continuously give you low effort, that sends a message to them that you allow breadcrumbs and it's never okay. And if your self-care game is lacking, you haven't done the inner work, and you're not fully healed, that's the type of stuff that draw these type of low, dusty bees to you like flies on honey. Ladies, you have to do that inner work so that you have the self-love and standard to connect with men that deserve you. Ladies, we are leveling up and only connecting with men that give us the princess treatment. And if you want more feminine energy dating tips like this, follow me.
The minute you start seeing a man as the prize, you have failed. You are showing signs of desperation. If you start seeing this guy as the best thing that ever happened to you, you start glorifying him, putting him on a pedestal, it gives off desperate energy. When you're trying to do everything to please this guy, you turn into a people pleaser, even at the detriment of your own happiness. You're not happy doing something, but you're doing something to please him. Even when the conditions are not favorable to you, you're going to go above and beyond to please this man, to prove to this man that you're going to do everything to make him happy. A lot of them see this as desperation. You're out there doing the most, and there's a girl who wouldn't even do half of the things you're doing, and he's going to treat her like a queen. But there you are doing the most for this guy who doesn't even consider you to be anything. He just sees you as a desperate, naive, insecure girl who is doing everything to get validation from him, who is seeking approval from him. This is a position where a lot of you guys are in. You're doing everything to please a man who is seeing you as a desperate girl. You should know what to do for a man and what not to do. You should know when to do these things and when not to do these things. Because a lot of men, they are looking for the type of woman who they can walk all over. The type of woman they can push all over. They are looking for a stooge. They are looking for a woman they can easily manipulate. And when a woman is showing all these signs of desperation, vulnerability, naiveness, they are going to take all of these things and use it to their advantage and get whatever they want from you. When you show a man that you are weak, he is going to take you for a weak woman and he is going to play you. There are a lot of men who thrive on bringing down women, and they go after strong, independent, hardworking women who have something going on for themselves. They go after this type of women because they get pleasure bringing these women down. You can be the most confident, hardworking, independent woman. You can be a woman who has it all. But if you fall into the hands of a wrong man, he is going to break you and bring you down to a point where you're not even going to recognize yourself. You're not even going to know who you are anymore. There are a lot of women who have lost their self-confidence, who have lost their self-esteem because they met the wrong man. They dealt with a narcissist, they dealt with an abuser, a toxic fellow who just came to destroy their self-confidence and make them feel so low. There are a lot of you who have self-esteem issues because you met a man who broke you. You met a man who cheated on you. You met a man who made you insecure. A man who betrayed you, who took your love and turned it into something so vile and vicious. You met a man who made you feel so low that you didn't even recognize who you are anymore. And this happens with men who are abusive, men who are toxic. They go after strong, beautiful, hardworking, independent women, and they thrive from bringing these women down. They get pleasure bringing these women down. They want you to lose yourself. But if you're watching this video, what I want you guys to understand is the way a man treats you doesn't determine your self-esteem. It doesn't determine your worth. Your worth shouldn't be based on how a guy treats you. Because there are men who would deliberately go after women who have it all and try to break these women and try to bring these women down. You should have self-esteem. You should have confidence. You should believe in yourself. You should know your worth. Even if the world isn't seeing it, even if this guy doesn't see your value. I wasn't always this confident. There have been times where I've been insecure. There have been times where I didn't believe in myself. But guess what? I had to get up every day and tell myself that I am that girl. I had to get up every day and proclaim positive affirmations to build my self-confidence and believe in myself. So I don't care whatever you're going through. I don't care what a guy has put you through. I don't care what you're dealing with. Whether you're suffering from childhood trauma, from depression, from heartbreak, whether you're going through a vulnerable moment now in your life, maybe you're a single mom who a guy abandoned you and he isn't taking care of you. I'm speaking to you because a lot of men, they prey on women who are going through something, on women who are vulnerable, women who are heartbroken. I'm speaking to you. Every day you have to wake up and tell yourself you are that girl. I am that girl. I can do it all by myself. If you allow a man to determine your worth and this guy ends up treating you like trash, you're always going to see yourself like trash. You're always going to see yourself the way he treats you. If you live for the validation of others, you're going to always starve. You're always going to keep needing the validation of other people. And when these people can't validate you, you're going to feel less of yourself. You're going to feel less than. You're always going to feel empty because you're living on the validation of people who don't even know themselves. People who aren't even sure of themselves. People who can't even determine their own value. This is why I'll keep saying never tell a man what you went through in your past relationship, because there are a lot of men who want to know your past in order to know the type of treatment to give you. They want to know what you tolerated from your ex, because when you tell them the things you tolerated from your ex, they are going to use these very same things against you. They are going to treat you the very same way, maybe even way worse. Give a man the opportunity to investigate you without you telling him everything about yourself. You meet a guy on the first date and you're already exposing everything about you to this guy. You're telling him what you do for a living, where you work, who you've been with, who you dated, the last time you had sex. All of this information, a guy doesn't need it. Your body count, all of these things, a man doesn't need it. I have a video on the things you should never tell a man about yourself, and I'll leave the link in the description box so you guys can check it out. There are certain things you should never tell a man about yourself, especially in the beginning of a relationship, because a man will always test you in the beginning of every relationship to know the type of woman you are and to know the degree of self-esteem you have, because based on these two things, he is going to treat you based on the degree of self-esteem, based on how you view yourself, your worth, the value you bring to the table. And if you're desperate, this guy will use it to his advantage, play you, use you, dump you, and move on to the next. So you need to be very careful. There are certain things you should never tell a man about yourself. You should be as mysterious as possible. They go after women who are desperate, women who are insecure, women who went through a heartbreak and they are still healing, women who are single mothers. They have a sick mindset that a lot of women who are single mothers are desperate and they are needing attention from them. So they look at these women to be easy targets. They look at these women to be praised. They prey on these women and they manipulate these women and use these women. So besties, make sure your self-esteem isn't determined by how a guy treats you. Know your worth, have self-confidence, even if it means you have to fake it till you make it. Yes, fake it till you make it, and you're going to start believing it. It's going to come into reality. And make sure that you're not desperate, so that a man doesn't manipulate you. Make sure you don't portray desperate energy. Make sure that you're not naive. Have healthy boundaries, learn to say no, and you're not going to fall a victim. So guys, I hope you love this video and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Drop your thoughts on the comment section, drop your experiences, drop your doubts. I'm dying to see them, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye, love you.